Hi, I'm Brandon Fields, the voice of Private Josh Woods on the Haven Chronicles. You're listening to SciFi Haven. If you enjoyed SciFi Haven's review of the Haven Chronicles, well, come follow us. That's at Haven Chronicles on Twitter, or find us on Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, and our website, thehavenchronicles.com.
Welcome to SciFi Haven. I want to apologize for the delay in this episode. We were actually waiting for the newest episode of the Haven Chronicles to drop, which would be Chapter 2's Part 2. But we decided since today is Saturday, we would be recording the Chapter 1 review in its entirety. Before today, we actually hadn't listened to all 3 episodes in a single go-through. We'd only been reviewing the episodes one-on-one. I also have the transcripts of all 3 reviews beside me, so I can look up what I thought during my initial review. Let's begin with Chapter 1, Contact, Part 1 of 3, which aired on the 20th of October, 2020.
The Haven Chronicles, Chapter 1, Contact, Part 1 of 3.
I still love how this episode starts with the introduction of Vincent Slater and Corporal Jason Oatman, and a list of all the charges that Oatman is facing. It's a great way to start a radio drama. I noticed while reviewing my own review, I didn't include the charges that Oatman is facing. I mentioned that he has 6 separate charges, but I never listed them. They include 3 counts of criminal destruction of property, 2 counts of first-degree murder, and a conspiracy to overthrow a local government. And this is just the list against Oatman himself, and not counting the charges towards Specialist Lee or Private Woods, which also included genocide. What did they do? I don't think I noticed in my initial review the massive adult reference regarding military-grade issue Kleenex tissues. Nice little reference there to being lonely. Chapter 1 has been a great start to introduce all the characters, including just mentioning people we haven't met yet, like crazy Dr. Eccleston. When Oatman and Woods were talking, they mentioned a hamster. I do hope that we can meet the hamster, because he has growth hormones. And, well, they do reference the crazy doctor, which we will get to meet in a future episode. I noticed a change in how I would be reviewing episodes myself in just the 2 months since Haven came back. And it's actually just a change in myself personally. As many subscribers of SciFi Haven know, in November of 2020, I publicly came out as non-binary. And while I had discovered this by the time I reviewed Chapter 1, Part 1, I hadn't come out publicly. And while the comment of how Oatman doesn't think Lee could handle lifting the laptops, well, I don't think Lee would have made it through basic training if she couldn't handle lifting a laptop. How heavy would a laptop be anyways? That's a different note for a different time. Let's move on to Chapter 1, Part 2, and let's also fast forward in time to the 4th of November, 2020.
The Haven Chronicles, Chapter 1, Contact, Part 2 of 3.
We start with a continuation of Slater and Oatman discussing the ship landing on Haven, and how it is implied that Slater has the power to add even more charges to Oatman. I hope that will be addressed in a future episode as well. I know I didn't bring it up into my review of Mirror, which was Chapter 2, Part 1, but I did see in my notes for the review how bad is the smell that Specialist Lee couldn't smell it. I actually forgot about the notes that I leave during my initial listening of episodes, and I joked in Mirror Part 1's review about the garbage chute, and I've even brought up a Star Wars reference. But I also put in my notes that I hope none of them had contracted COVID. It was an inside joke that eventually I did put in the Mirror review. I just thought it was funny, and I actually forgot about putting it in the initial review until today. I hadn't heard the voice actress do her attempt of Shaggy or Scooby-Doo, but I must say, my friend Brandon, who does the voice of Private Woods, does make an amazing impression of Scooby-Doo and Shaggy. If the Haven Chronicles ever ends, I hope that Brandon could do some amazing voice work for them as well. When Jessica and Oatman are talking in dry dock, It does make sense for them to be searching the dry dock. It's the first place a ship lands. So if somebody invaded the city, that's the first place that they would have landed. So why not look there? You know, why would there be statues of the founders of the Teal Corporation in the lobby? That would be like asking us to build a monument of some dead presidents on the side of a mountain in the middle of the country. Oh, wait. Didn't America do that at one point? And also, they did build a giant weeping angel to greet everybody moving to New York City. God love the Doctor Who reference. Chelsea, if a distress signal was a college student's avant-garde project, did they at least pass? Please tell me they passed. More questions to ask our friends behind the scenes. Also, when Chelsea was giving the information about the permits on levels 20 through 40, 20 through 30, why did she seem shocked that they would be fully furnished? It's almost like the Teal Tower builds the rooms similar to the programmable matter as shown on Star Trek Discovery, or maybe as provided by the aliens we met in Star Trek The Next Generation series premiere, Encounter at Farpoint, with the jellyfish people, or the Caretaker, right? Oh, no. The Caretaker was Star Trek Voyager. And here, I say I'm a Star Trek nerd. Actually, that was just a joke. I wanted to see if you guys would laugh. Let me know in the comments if you actually laughed for that. I'm thinking it's more like the Star Jelly people, as named by Captain William Michael in the Star Trek Titan novel series. You know, this episode is getting kind of long. Let's start wrapping up this podcast episode. And, well, it is less than a week before Christmas. Let's get it wrapped up in time for Christmas. And we will do one final jump forward in time and jump to the 17th of November 2020 with the final part of this opening chapter of the Haven Chronicles.
The Haven Chronicles, Chapter 1, Contact, Part 3 of 3.
Wow, it took me forever to find my notes of this episode. For some reason on my laptop, here in the SciFi Haven Studios, the notes for a coming out episode were saved in this folder for Part 3, and Part 3 was saved in the coming out episode. I obviously didn't pay attention to when I was saving stuff. So of course our ADHD brain decided to take a break and we jumped on TikTok. But we're back, even though you wouldn't have noticed thanks to the power of editing and the power of me actually scripting this before recording. Oh my god, this is the second time while reviewing this episode that I get sidetracked. According to my transcript for the initial review, it looks like I distracted last time too. Last time I was distracted by my ever-changing release schedule, which it's changed twice since I recorded that. You know, I disagree with Specialist Lee and Vincent Slater in the opening when they said that you can't say something is wrong without any context. But Oatman was right from the first episode when they said they spent billions on body cams. Why isn't Slater looking at the body cam footage? Or was the footage corrupt like the hours of footage that was pure static in the 1997 Jodie Foster movie Contact? Great movie, by the way. I want to do a review of that one as well. Wait a second. I'm getting a sense of deja vu here. I just mentioned that exact footage in the comment section for the upcoming episode of Star Trek Discovery Season 3, Episode 10's comment section over on Open Channel, which perhaps our friends over at Holosuite Media will be mentioning when Christopher D. Littlefield and his guest, I'm not sure who's doing the guest this week, who's being the guest this week, I should say. But it's 3:45 p.m. right now as I record this. They were always recorded at around 5 p.m. So in about an hour, I'll find out who the guest is. Unfortunately, I don't want to edit this because I actually want to have this uploaded by then as well. I need to do some editing. Again, with the sidetrack. Wow. Anyways, this is a weird sense of deja vu when it comes to podcasting and dreams and who knows. I don't even know where I'm going with that train of thought, but I'm going to keep this in anyways. But anyways, I had a dream about our newest sponsor, tweeted about the dream on my personal Twitter account, and then the exact thing that I mentioned in my dream became a reality only a week later. You know, I'm not going to talk about the dream, right now, but more information about the new sponsor will be mentioned after I finish this. It's actually going to be really quick. I still haven't seen The Shining, like I mentioned in the review podcast from November. I would love to have a guest on the show and do a live blind reaction of the movie. Who knows, maybe I can convince the cast and crew of the Haven Chronicles to join in a watch party via Discord, and we can all watch the movie. Ideas for the future. I love it. I hope they do too. It is at least time for Lee and Oatman and Woods to relax in the apartment. It's a good time to relax, I say. But while they relax, it's time for us to record this podcast. Wait, I'm doing that right now. And prepare it with editing and uploading so you guys can hear it. But before we go, let's have a word from our newest sponsor. Coho is proud to sponsor SciFi Haven for our Canadian listeners. Coho is a bit of a checking account, but with the perks of a credit card. Just like with your everyday checking account, you can put money into your Coho account by using direct deposit from work, or Interac e-transfer, or even connect it to your PayPal and Patreon accounts and have the money deposited right there, all with no fees. And just like a credit card, you'll get cash back and other perks. Plus, you can use your code anywhere Visa is accepted. With Coho, you will earn at least 0.5% cashback on all your purchases while using your Coho card. But with this partnership, SciFi Haven will give you a bonus 1% on all your purchases for the first 30 days. It is time to get started with Coho, the smarter spending account. Visit scifihaven.ca/Coho for more information, and the download link for Coho app for iOS and Android via the Google Play Store is now available in our show notes and on the website to sign up today. Thanks for listening to our Chapter 1 review of the Haven Chronicles. We hope that we will be back soon with Chapter 2, Part 2's review. And we've already recorded our upcoming episode review for Doctor Who's 5th season. It's scheduled to come out on Christmas Day for everyone. We'll see you at Christmas time. Have a happy holidays.